Zoe says, I've got $16,000 at 16%. Boom, right there. $16,000 at 16%. Your first interest payment is $213.33. The first thing I want to know is, do you have any other debt? Do you have a mortgage as well? Zoe, do you have a mortgage as well? She says yes. All right. Tell me a little bit about your mortgage. And I'm going to do another one here. 260,000 at what interest rate? She says 5.87 or 5.78. Let's take the higher one. Okay, let's take the higher one. 5.87. So we're going to duplicate that, and we're going to put in a $260,000 mortgage at 5.87. And I'm assuming it's a 30-year loan, correct, Zoe? She says yes. So we're going to put in 5.87%. And that's 30 years, 360 months. Boom, we're going to take that payment out. And here's what it looks like, folks. Here is what it looks like. Here's the payment, $1,537.17. That's just the principal and interest payment. That excludes your taxes and insurance, Zoe. Okay? So here's what most people are not looking at when they're looking at these credit card interest rates. We are taught to hate credit card interest so much that credit cards are evil and they strike fear into our hearts. And it just brings up so much anxiety that I see 16%, but my mortgage interest rate is so much less. Can I show you something here? All right. So let's just say you had the ability to pay this all off at one time. All right. I'm not saying you do, and I'm not saying you have to, but I want to make this clear to everyone that's watching or listening. All right. And I've got a mortgage of $260,000. I need you to see what my first interest payment is on this mortgage. It's $1,271.83. We get so used to making the mortgage payment. Let me see what the interest payment is on after 5 years. Okay, I'm going to go down to line 60, and even after 5 years, it's still $1,183. All right, and 6 years, still over $1,100. All right, let me go down to 10 years. 10 years on this loan, the interest payment is still $1,062.94. We get so used to paying the mortgage like this, we forget about how much interest we're paying each month. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, folks, is this. If I have the money to pay this credit card off, the financial experts are saying this 16% is eating you alive. You need to get rid of that right now, as soon as we can. And Zoe says, yes, we do. So this is what we're being told. So if we can get rid of that, okay, let me show you. Here's how much interest you save if you pay that off right now, even though it's fungible, all right, and you get to spend that money anyway. And I'm not paying 16%. And let me show you what 16% a month actually looks like. We're going to take 16%, okay? We're going to divide it by 12, right? Divide that by 12, all right? That means it's 0.13% a month, 0.13% a month. See, when you break it down per month, it's really not that bad, okay? So here's what we're looking at, and I want to make this abundantly clear. If you were able to pay this off right now, you would save $213.33. That's it. You wouldn't have to pay the bank that. But on your mortgage, if you put $16,000 on it, let's say it's brand new, $16,000, I need you to take a look at the cumulative principal here, all right? Cumulative principal, and we're going to scroll down to where we see $16,000 on this mortgage. Look at this, okay? That's 3 years. This is 4 years, okay? About 4.5 years, you knock off your mortgage, Zoe. 4.5 years, you knock off your mortgage, and you save $64,000. You got to go up one line here on your cumulative interest. $64,000 in interest. Zoe, did you know that? Did you know that? That while we're trying to, the financial experts out there that we're listening to, that have the radio programs, that have the television programs, that have the huge platforms, all of them are telling you the credit card is killing you, when in fact, it is your mortgage that is doing all the financial damage here. So here is my question to you. Would it be okay to pay $213.33 in interest? It could save me $64,265.11 on my mortgage. Zoe says, wow, wow, wow. Come on, everybody. That is not to say we shouldn't go ahead and knock that out when we can. What if there was a way to know when to put money on the mortgage and when to put money on the credit card so that you are saving money over here and paying that credit card off when you can, but you're not completely ignoring the mortgage interest as well? There is a way to do that. We have a computer program that actually helps you to do that. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to pay that off as soon as you can, but you want to do it in a way that makes sense so that you can save the maximum amount of interest that's mathematically possible while you're taking your extra money and putting it on the mortgage. And here's how you need to look at this. Make sure you have a budget. Make sure you have a budget. This is what our program does. Not telling you you can't do something. A budget lets you know what you can do. I will repeat that. A budget doesn't tell you what you can't do. A budget tells you what you can do. So you're tracking your spending. You want to know how much money you generally spend on food each month. How much money are you spending on electricity? Or you want to make sure you're tracking your insurance payments. How much money are you spending on gasoline or tolls or public transportation? You want to track your entire budget for the month. How much money are you making? How much money are you spending to pay bills? Okay. And then when you see that and you're tracking it, you know how much money is left over after all the bills are paid. And guess what your number one bill is after church or charity? Okay, watch this. Your number one bill after church or your charity. Watch this. Your number one bill is you. How much money do you want to spend on you and your family each month so that you can have a great lifestyle? Okay. Now there's a guy in Tennessee that says, don't worry about that. Listen, eat beans and rice 7 days a week, drive a 30-year-old car and cut up your credit cards and live like a pauper until you get all the debt paid off. P.I.L.L method says you can live an enhanced lifestyle. All you have to do is plug in how much you want to spend on you each month. And when that money is gone, it's gone for the month. All right. And that way you have a psychological benefit of feeling like you're not just working to pay bills. Okay. Listen, that's a killer. If you say to yourself, I'm just working to pay bills, all right, that's no good. All right, so let me go here. So what we want to take a look at is how much money is left over after all the bills are paid and put that in your savings account, okay? You can attack your bills from the savings account. Don't attack it from your regular budget because that's taking money away from your family because the bills aren't going to change. So if you try to take money from your budget to pay on the debt, then the only place you can get that is from your family. All right. Even if you're a family of one, it's still your family. Okay. So make sure you have money for yourself and then put the rest in the savings. And then you can take money from your savings that builds up and you can every 2 or 3 months take lump sums out of savings, not the whole thing, but lump sums out of savings and attack that debt. Now, if you have the P.I.L.L method, we would tell you exactly how much to take out of savings, what month to do it in, what day of the month to do it on, and which loan to attack. And we would compute for you your interest savings. All right. Even though the interest rate is constantly floating. Okay. Don't let that worry you. You have to know what your interest consumption is. What is my interest consumption? How much interest am I paying on all of my debt? I'm paying $200 and some over here, but I'm paying over $1,200 or $1,000 over here. And so where should my attention be? Your attention should be on what is costing you the most interest each month, not the interest rate, but the interest cost.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.